Good evening and welcome to the Poets Cafe. It is where artists comes alive. The spoken word brings forth the inner creation of hidden treasures, expressing tones of lyrics felt within the soul, a vibration that brings stories untold. This platform represents artists of all backgrounds, be it writers, singers, spoken word, artistic expressions in painting, literature, poetry, and a journey through life. Mystery seeks to bring new ideas and opportunities through the minds at all levels. Wherefore my time leaving tomorrow on the wings of yesterday, where birds fly higher than the mystery of dreams never knew. Why do mellow sounds ring silently without ever leaving memories of my lonely blues? We walk by the calls of nature and sing in harmony, pray for the love of the skies, and dance with the stars like a feminine ballerina, gazing across the stage in a soft-toed ballerina shoe. Welcome to the Artistic Poetry Cafe show, Poetically Speaking, hosted by Terry Benjamin and Ron C. McCrae. As delighted as we are, we can't wait to engulf a new wave of presenting this platform to our audience. So, sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let's get started.
We welcome you to the show, Poetically Speaking. And it's our Thursday night show, and I'm really glad to be here with my brother. And we're going to give you something special tonight, as always. And today's agenda is believing is seeing. A lot of people say, I won't believe until I see it. But you know what? If you have that belief in your mind, you will see it. It will come to you, you know. There's also another, there's a Chinese proverb that says that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so it's the same idea, you know. But I have a quotation from an author whose book I will be discussing in Mind, Body, and Books, but just a preview of his thought, his thinking. This is from my mentor, motivational teacher and great author and lecturer, Dr. Wayne W. Dyer. And Dr. Dyer says, happiness and success are inner processes that we bring to life's undertakings, rather than something we get from out there. So again, all you need is within you. You just have to know how to go in there and get it out. That's why a lot of times it's like all poets and writers will tell you sometimes the idea seems to come out of nowhere. But if you don't get on that idea, that's going to go and probably go to somebody else, you know. You see somebody else enjoying the success of your idea. So again, meditation is really important to get to the inner you, because everything that you need is within. And so, as always, we begin with Ron's poetry. What do you have for us tonight? I know you have something special, brother. I know that.
Oh, yes. Actually, it's quite a few different things. And during the course of this evening, I'll be in and out with a few things to touch bases. Oh, but I'd also like to piggyback of what you just said. Mm-hmm. The topic is what seeing is believing.
That's right.
You know, for those Christians, go to church, listen, you heard from the word.
That's right, yeah.
Jesus said to the Pharisees and the Sadducees, he said, no, you believe, then I'll show you.
Yes.
And so the question is, do you believe?
That's
do you believe inside yourself to bring forth those hidden treasures and thoughts and ideas, whatever it may be?
That's right.
So seeing is believing, but you have to believe first to see it.
That's right.
It'll come true if you believe it, but if you don't believe it, you're not going to see it.
That's right. That's right.
So here's something I like to read. This is from a gentleman I work with. This is back in 1991.
Wow.
His name is Jeff Avant. He wrote this. He was a poet. And I like to read this. Black Prayer. Lord, you have brought us a long way from chains of slavery through the halls of discrimination. With you as our leader, we have laughed in the face of fear, danced in the midst of hunger, crying out only to praise thy name. Father, we ask for your forgiveness, because we sometimes forget where we came from and just how far we have to go. Use thy staff, O Lord, to guide your sheep, for some of us have gone astray. Help us, Lord, to keep our faith. Though the backlash of injustice try to break us, and our worst enemy, hatred, tries to overtake us.
Mm-hmm.
Mold our minds in thy hand, O Heavenly King.
Mm-hmm.
Make us truly free. You know, it's interesting.
Beautiful, beautiful.
This was in 1991.
Wow, wow.
For some may not have been born or just toddlers, whatnot, but we're talking about the adults.
That's
We
right.
talk about
That's
the
right.
ones 40, I'm going to say 35, 40 up.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
The bottom line is, if this was in 1991,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and people talk about make America great now and talk about I can't breathe and all the other negative stuff that's been happening,
Yes, yes.
this is nothing new under the sun today.
That's right.
It's old stuff.
It is.
And you can trace back in history and find stuff, the exact same thing repeated back in the 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same thing.
Yeah. Well, again, I always say that, you read the Bible and you start with Adam and Eve, and as we go through our lives, the farther we gotten from that, So you can imagine how good looking the men were, how good looking the women were, because they weren't perfect. They weren't perfect, but they were a lot closer to perfection than we are. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yep.
It's like, you got a copy machine, and as you make, the more copies you make, the fader is fading, is fading until you get to the point where the 100th copy is not as crisp as the first copy, and we're almost like that. We've gotten so far from perfection that we have problems, And I think, again, that's why I think the Bible is such an important book, and not just a spiritual book, but just a book that I think all our wisdom, that book is the foundation for all of that. So if you don't have some kind of idea about the Bible or what's in the Bible, I don't think you can call yourself educated. I really don't.
And it was all natural then. Yeah. I mean, like you just said, you gotten away from, faded away from what is natural.
That's right.
You have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this me? Am I all natural? Or I'm portraying to be natural with artificial, whatever that may be, that comfort you.
Yeah.
Because you can't complain about the food and all the other things if you yourself is not maintaining what God has given you, a natural state of being, a natural state of thinking, emotions, a spirituality. That's what's important.
Yeah, and that's why I say, on the program, community, we say that again, we're here to promote the mind, the body, and the spirit. And I'm saying, all three things at the same time.
Right.
Sometimes, you might work more on the mind than the body and the spirit, but, you don't want to be lopsided. So you want to bring up everything at the same time, because, again, I think that's where we're going to find our community. That's where we're going to find our freedom, because we're going through some difficult times, but we can get through this. But we got to understand that we have tools at our disposal, and again, it's the mind, body, and the spirit that we have to work on, And those, again, and I'm always amazed by the pieces that you bring in, because some of these people may not be with us anymore, but their wisdom is more timely now than ever for some reason,
That's right.
So again, and to say in the Bible, there's nothing new under the sun.
And nothing new under the sun. What is today was then.
It was.
But if you search the Bible, you'll find every single thing unimaginable. I don't care what book you read off the shelf in the library, you're going to find the exact same thing in the Bible.
Yeah.
And it's straight up and raw.
That's right. And it's important for us to know that. And that's why, no matter what we're going through, there is a way out, because people have gone through worse things, So don't ever lose heart. Don't ever sink into depression or sink into hopelessness, because, again, we have strength within, and we have strength from God, So what else you got there, my brother?
Here's something else. Summer. Again, this is from Jeff Avant. A warm summer day with nothing on my mind. I'm looking for recreation, but it's so hard to find. Sandy beaches, a cool night spot. Hot, sexy ladies, I think not. It would look nice to have a woman on my arm. I'm looking for company, some class, sprinkle with charm. I don't have time to play the games of the mind, 'cause when I go back to work, I know she's gonna wine. Makes you want to think.
It does. It does.
You know?
Yeah. And again, and that's from the '90s, and I don't think things have changed that much because again, dating and relationships are still challenging. You know, so we really have to know what we want and why we want it. Okay, because sometimes I remember my mother would always say that just because it looked good, that don't mean it is good, or good for you. I should say.
And that's on both sides. I'm quite sure a lot of women, see men in the same way. But here's something we talked about before, and we always revisit that, because one of the sessions we had was about the art of conversation.
Yes, very important.
There's nothing new that you can't talk about from history. And if it's something new to me, it's because I have not learned or understood what was.
Beautiful.
But if you have something to bring to indulge me into something new, then we can have a collaborative conversation that's going to spark something inside of us to say, yes, my brother, my sister, whatever develops from that point, if there's a connection, at least you are connecting in a harmonious way. That's what's important, having the art of a conversation. And in short, it's too often, I say this, and I listen to a lot of these YouTube channels and podcasts, they talk about the exact same thing. There's nothing worse than a trifling person who just can't speak or smile. What's so hard about speaking or smiling? Say, hey, how you doing? Have a great day, whatever case. Because a conversation changes the direction of whatever a person is going through.
True. And again, and we look out to our community, because we know that you're out there. And as a matter of fact, Dina Robinson, she says, I'm here, Terry and Ronald and Sheila Bird. Good evening, brothers, ladies. We thank you. We thank you for watching. We thank you for tuning in. And these are two of our day ones. They were with us right from the beginning. And I imagine that they come back because we're giving them some food for thought. So Dina, thank you. Sheila, thank you very much.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure, truly, because the sincerity of this, as we always say, where there are two or more gathered together, there shall he be. We want to thank you, whether it's one or two, but we truly thank you for being consistent and indulgent in us, because you spark us. That's right. You give us the energy to respond to your thankfulness that we are here to give you something different. Something, it's like a good meal that you haven't had before. It's right. Like, I'm your chef today.
Chef Boyardee, But again, thank you, Dina. Thank you, Sheila, and also those who are watching as well.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, again, and so I want to move along because we have another part of the program we call Mind, Body, and Books. And basically, this is taken off from our today's agenda is Believing is Seeing. And this was sort of sparked for me by this book here by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And it says here, you'll see it when you believe it. And it's subtitled The Way to Your Personal Transformation. Again, Dr. Wayne Dyer. And Marianne Williamson says he's one of America's foremost teachers of transformational wisdom, And that is so true. And Dina, she says here, I love your podcast. It's so inspiring. Ruby Chavez, our queen. She said, on board, my kings, and much respect to you, my sister, much respect, because I blame you for this. You're the one that got me started in this whole podcast thing, and I thank you for it.
And Terry dragged me along.
Yeah.
Like a trifling child.
Yes,
Come on.
Screaming and kicking. But I want to get into this book just briefly, and again, it talks about teachers, students, and teachers, and it says here, try viewing everyone who comes into your life as a teacher. See every other person as part of you that is ready to grow. In relationships, it's not an accident that sustaining partnerships are a combination of opposites. We often love someone who represents an underdeveloped part of ourselves. Instead of judging others as people who should or should not be behaving in certain ways, see them as reflecting a part of you and ask yourself, what it is you are ready to learn from them. Love the seemingly opposite in your world. Treasure their way of being as a gift to you. And again, and I think that's a beautiful thought because, again, we have to understand that whatever happens to you, whether it be good or bad, it's a life lesson. And again, and an educated person knows that there's always more to learn. And so that's why, for me, Ron, I'm a big advocate of lifelong learning, you know. And again, here, Dr. Wayne Dyer says here, live the life you always wanted. And again, it goes on and says here, in this best-selling, you'll see when you believe it, Wayne W. Dyer takes readers to new plateaus of awareness. He demonstrates how you can direct the course of your own destiny by tapping the truly amazing power that lies within you. You'll see it when you believe it, shows us how to turn obstacles into opportunities, rid ourselves of guile and inner turmoil, and make our most impossible dreams come true. You know, it's so funny. We have my brother, he presented to me, you know, we have some new business cards here. And on the back of the card here, it says, poetically speaking, the place for spoken word. And I love this here, and this is really from my brother. He says, will your dreams come to life? Okay? Will your dreams come to life? And again, and that's why I say, dream big. Dream big. You know, I think sometimes, you know, maybe I haven't dreamt big enough. You know, maybe everything that I wanted for myself has happened, but maybe I should have dreamt bigger. You know, maybe I should have shot for the moon, you know, because I'm happy where I'm at right now. But again, I think the thing about us human beings is that, you know, it's never too late to dream. It's never too late to see yourself in a different light, you know. And so again, this is Dr. Wayne Dyer, and again, you'll see it when you believe it. Okay, you'll see it when you believe it. The way to your personal transformation.
And that was the exact same thing we just talked about a minute ago, even with Jesus. Yeah. Believe it,
that's right,
and you can see it. Believe, and you can see it. Don't believe I see it, and all of a sudden all you see is the golden stars and whatnot. Because it takes pieces, it takes steps, and don't rush it. See, savoring the moment, savoring the time, savoring those pieces.
Yes.
You don't want to let them go, even when you put them together. But when it's all finished, you will shout, you will scream, you will. Whatever, you'll lose your mind because of the joy and happiness that you took your time to do it right.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why, you know, you really have to be gentle with yourself, because sometimes we make mistakes and we are down on ourselves and we don't know how to forgive ourselves. But you got to forgive yourself and you have to move on and keep on dreaming. Now, what I like to do, I like to make a transition here, and I want to get into the segment we call Music is Lit. And again, when I do this, I try to tell a little story, you know. And tonight's story is basically sometimes you have to let go of what you have to get something better. And my brother here, James Holloway, says, "Brothers in light, thank you for painting this canvas." My brother, he's a poet that don't know it.
Absolutely.
James Holloway, man, we go way, way back, you know. I'm getting goosebumps, you know, because I haven't seen that name. Now I got to reach out to that brother. But again, when we go into our Music is Lit segment, and the first song is sometimes a song that's sort of sung at funerals, you know. But again, I think I have a reason for sharing this song, and Tony McQueen says, "Good evening, everyone." Welcome, Tony. And so this song is entitled "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday," and this is from Boys to Men, and this is from 1991. But what I'm saying here, in my interpretation, it's hard to say goodbye to yesterday. But again, sometimes we have to leave tomorrow behind. And I want to preface this song by reading this. This is from Albert Einstein. And he says here, and please listen, community, because I think this is really letting us know that sometimes you got to let go of some stuff to get some new stuff. And Albert Einstein says, "I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. I want to read that again. I must be willing to give of what I am in order to become what I will be. You know, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. And so again, so I present this first song in that spirit, letting go to get something new. And again, this is it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday, 1991, and it's also on the soundtrack of one of my favorite movies, Cooley High. That was one of the first movies I saw where one of the main characters actually died, and I was shocked because I said, I know he got hit hard and it fell down hard, but I know he's going to be okay. No, he passed. And in that last scene, you know, they have a funeral, and his friend is getting ready to leave and go on to find his destiny beyond Cooley High. And so this is a song that I like. It's called "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday," Boys to Men. How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh outweigh the bad. I thought we'd get to see forever, but forever is going away. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. I don't know where this road is going to lead. All I know is where we've been and what we've been through. And if we get to see tomorrow, I hope it's worth all the wait. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. But again, as we look back on our lives, you know, and now we're in our later years, and yeah, I know I'm not the same person I was at 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, not even 60. You know, I'm in my 70s, and I'm a different person. You know, and hopefully I'm a better person, but I had to let go of some things. So sometimes I had some bad habits that I had to let go so I could be a better person. But again, it's always good to have friends and families, and I remember, Ron, we used to say we want to be with like-minded people, but now I'm saying, brother, I want to be with like-spirited people. You know, I want people who share the same spirit that I have, like Sheila and Dina and Ruby and James and Tony. They're not like-minded people; they're like-spirit people. You know, and again, man, you know, I want to be there for them because I know that they're for me. And this song is interesting. This is from the Jackson 5. You remember the Jackson 5? Before they became the Jacksons, before Michael went solo and Jermaine went solo and all this other stuff. And this is from 1970. And this is "I'll Be There" by the Jackson 5. And this is Michael, and then Jermaine comes in, you know. And so Michael starts, he says here, "You and I must make a pact. We must bring salvation back. Where there is love, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll reach out my hand to you. I'll have faith in all you do. Just call my name, and I'll be there. I'll be there." And then Jermaine comes in and says, "And oh, I'll be there to comfort you, build my world of dreams around you. I'm so glad that I found you. I'll be there with a love that's strong. I'll be your strength. I'll keep holding on, holding on, holding on, holding on. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Let me fill your heart with joy and laughter." Michael comes back in. "Togetherness, girl, is all I'm after. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there to protect you. Yeah, baby. With an unselfish love that respects you. Just call my name and I'll be there. I'll be there. And oh, I'll be there to comfort you. Build you my world of dreams around you. I'm so glad that I found you. I'll be there with a love that's strong. I'll be your strength. I'll keep holding on." Hoo-hoo. Holding on, holding on, holding on. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. If you should ever find someone new, I know he better be good to you, because if he doesn't, I'll be there. I'll be there. Don't you know, baby? Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. Just call my name, I'll be there. I'll be there. Just look over your shoulder, honey. Ooh, I'll be there. I'll be there whenever you need me. I'll be there. Don't you know, baby? Yeah, yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there. Just call my name. I'll be there. I'll be there. Oh, 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 I'll be there. I'll be there. And that's Michael and Jermaine talking about I'll be there. And Laretha Foster Bram, she just checked in and she says good evening. And good evening to you, my sister. And again, I dedicate this last song to all the people who are with us tonight, all who checked in, and all who are just sort of holding back, waiting for another time to weigh in. And this song, again, when the first time I heard it, I said, man, this is a beautiful song, and from beautiful brother Bill Withers, and this is from 1972. And this is a popular song, and Dina Robinson says, thank you, my friend. Please know you're a person of love and deserve all the love and respect in the world. Dina making me blush, man.
Oh, man.
She make blush. Dina, stop it. Stop it. Stop it, girl. Lean on me, Bill Withers. And again, it reminds me of the movie. Remember the movie Lean on Me? The story of Joe Clark?
Yeah, right.
Quick story before I go into this. Joe Clark was invited to Union County College when I was administrator there. And people would sort of sleep on Joe Clark. So when he came, was nobody in the auditorium. I think it was maybe like 5 people, me and some other people. And we got a chance to spend an hour and a half with Joe Clark. And man, he was hilarious. He was funny, using all these big words and whatnot that I didn't know, but I laughed because he was laughing, But the movie and the performance of Morgan Freeman as Joe Clark, it is still to this day is one of my favorites. And so this is from 1972, and it says here, this is Bill Withers' Lean on Me. It says, sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know there's always tomorrow. Lean on me. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm going to need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow. For no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm going to need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Call me. If you need a friend, call me. Call me. Call me. If you need a friend, call me. Call me. Call me. If you need a friend, call me. Call me. Just call me. If you need a friend, call me. Call me. Call me. Lean on me. And again, like I said, I try to tell a story here. So you got this song here, and you have this other song. And again, like I said, it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday, but, you can always reach out to someone that can help you, because in a final analysis, we need someone to lean on, and we got to lean on each other. And that's why, I always say this, Ron, that I read somewhere that said that if you have a project and you can do it by yourself, then your project is not big enough. Okay, so again, that's why when we come to this program, I thank my brother here. I thank our engineer Jeff. I thank Norm. I thank everybody who put this studio together, because I couldn't do it by myself. So I know my vision is big. I couldn't do without the people who tune in every every time that we come on. So again, man, big vision, big vision, big fun. That's how I look at it.
You're absolutely correct. And this is one of the things we try to instill on a regular basis about not only us coming to you, but you coming to us.
That's
but
right.
the most important thing is that you coming to yourself.
That's
Delve
right.
inside yourself and take off that trifling attitude out of yourself. You're mad and whatnot.
Get it out.
All that's dead weight.
It's dead weight.
Freedom doesn't come with dead weight. Yes, what's a reminder is the fact that you may have past issues.
That's right.
That's dead weight.
That's right.
But as long as you realize something is pulling me back, then you are responsible to dismantle yourself from that and let it go.
Mm-hmm.
You can't change yesterday. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And something you were saying too, and I wrote down,
Yeah.
if you take that mirror that you look in each and every moment of your entire life, I don't care if it's a reflection in the window showcasing some mannequin or whatever, the fact is, turn that around and look at yesterday.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know where you come from, you surely don't know where you're going, because tomorrow's not promised. But when tomorrow comes, at least you can reflect back and say, you know what? I'm glad I made a change in my life. I'm glad I changed direction. That's the whole thing. And even with Bill Withers, change, not only lean on me, every single person. And Mr. Dyer said, we need somebody. We need each other. Don't think that everybody around you is trying to hurt you because you're hurting yourself more than somebody trying to hurt you. So the bottom line is you have to have an open mind, open heart, and a spirit that says, welcome. I'm here. I can help you. But surely I'm not here for you to hurt me, because there's always somebody around to help you. And to go back to Michael Jackson, how he took that song, those lyrics, if you think about it, I will be there.
I'll be there.
This is what all those who said what Jesus said. He's the Savior. You have a Holy Spirit who's our comforter, and comfort us in whatever condition and situation we may be in. But he is there to help see us through. And as you said, even with the lyrics and all the songs that you bring forward, listen to the lyrics, because those are the stories that they were singing back then, that whether it was pleading, crying, or as a reminder, lean on me, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, and it really amazes me, Ron. Like I said, I mean, I'm going back into the music of the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. And one of the things, one of my hopes is that you would, after, I read the lyrics, that you would go and listen to the music. Because, again, I mean, what I'm doing is good, but the music is even better. But the sad thing about it is that, once our generation is gone, I don't know if they'll be going back to this music. I hope so, because, when I read some of these lyrics, I mean, that's like self-help, back in the day. Now we have all these self-help podcasts and self-improvement books and whatnot, and they're all well and good, but like we said before, there's nothing new under the sun. So all the problems that we had or could have been dealt with before. But I'm just so glad that we have this platform. I'm so glad that we have you, community, and I always say that, man, we're here putting it down and you're picking it up, and I really appreciate that. And also, I said again, the heart of our community is education. And so this is a segment that I really like, because it gives us a chance to really stretch out here. And this is the food for thought segment. And what we're going to be doing is entitled Creative Visualization, Purpose and Possibility. And really, it's really sort of taken off from this book that I got some time ago. As a matter of fact, this is from 1978, and it's entitled Creative Visualization. Use the power of your imagination to create what you want in your life. Okay, and this is by Shakti Gawan. Creative visualization. Use the power of your imagination to create what you want in your life. I mean, imagination, you could be any place that you want to be. But I want to give you an idea of what the concept means here. This is from the book here. And it says here, creative visualization is the technique of using your imagination to create what you want in your life. There is nothing new at there is nothing at all new, strange, or unusual about creative visualization. You're already using it every day, every minute. In fact, it is your natural power of imagination, the basic creative energy of the universe, which you use constantly, whether you're aware of it or not. In the past, many of us have used our power of creative visualization in a relatively unconscious way because of our own deep-seated negative concepts about life. We have automatically and subconsciously expected and imagined lack, limitation, difficulty, and problems to be our lot in life. To one degree or another, that is what we have created for ourselves. This book is about learning to use your natural creative imagination in a more conscious way as a technique to create what you truly want: love, fulfillment, enjoyment, satisfying relationships, rewarding work, self-expression, health, beauty, prosperity, inner peace, and harmony, whatever your heart desires. The use of creative visualization gives us a key to tap into the natural goodness and bounty of life. Again, it is all there. It's all in your imagination. I can sit here and close my eyes and be in Hawaii, under a palm tree, because that's my imagination. But I want you to use it even a more practical way. Again, if you don't feel well, just imagine yourself feeling better. Just imagine yourself doing things that are going to be healthy. Just imagine yourself having a good meal. Just imagine yourself being in a good environment. It's imagination. And again, and imagination is a good thing because it really takes us outside of ourselves. Okay, but it all comes from, like we said, brother. It all comes from within. So have you ever had an opportunity to use this tool here, creative visualization? Have you ever used it in your life?
All the time.
all the time.
That's on my card.
Yeah.
Creative thinkers.
That's right. That's
exact same thing. You have to visualize, create thoughts, opportunity. Mm-hmm. But what you're doing is creating your dreams, your visions, your whatever that goal may be, your joy, your happiness, your peace. Yeah. Visualize it. Right. It'll come true, but it's cultivating through your spirituality. Bring it to life, like you just said. Right. I could sit here and think I'm in Hawaii.
That's right.
Bring it to life.
Wherever.
Wherever it may be, no matter how you look at it. Yeah. And let's be real, and let's be straight up. Respectful, but raw.
Yeah. Please,
raw, but respectful.
Yeah, you're respectful, yeah.
No, every single human being, matter of fact, all of God's creation has a mind. We all think of anything and everything unimaginable.
That's right.
We don't share everything.
No, we don't.
But the bottom line is, you'd be surprised what the outside forces see you doing behind those closed doors. So, but if I may,
dream a world. Dream a world.
And here's something to tie into what you just read.
Thank you. Yes.
Again, this is in 1992 by Jeff Avant. My bondage. In my bondage, I'm free because there is challenge inspiring me. That's right. What is inside of you that's inspiring you to break loose, to be free? Yeah. When you laugh and spit in my face, I only love you more, though I show tears and feel disgrace. You don't understand that you are weak. When you slap me, I turn the other cheek. Yes, in my pain, I am strong, so enjoy your glory while doing wrong, but be ready for the journey in. Your reward is long. That's written. Depends on how you look at it.
I love that.
Exactly. Poetically, the way he expressed it is written. Because again, think of your ancestors.
That's right.
Think of the past.
That's right.
What they've been through, we cannot begin to comprehend. Even in your wildest nightmare, you can't comprehend what your ancestors been through. And we said this multiple times.
Yes.
Whipped, lynched, raped beyond imagination. And you couldn't look up in somebody's face. And yet, they were humble. They prayed. They became writers and poets, inventors, you name it. They was doing then what you are today, and yet your selfish ways, so many, not those who online, no. These are my people, not y'all.
Not our community.
No. But the others, you are living a nightmare that you create.
Mm-hmm.
Your freedom is not in your bondage,
Mm-hmm.
but the challenge of your spirituality to be free is what you're supposed to be focusing on.
Oh, man,
In my bondage, he says.
Yeah, beautiful. And Dina Robinson says, yesterday is gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine, but for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. And that's a beautiful thought.
Absolutely.
And then Laretha says here, visualization is a natural gift. And it's a natural gift. It's given to us. See, a lot of times we think we got to buy this and that and this and that to make ourselves happy. But again, the happiness, the peace is within, you know? And we know, I think we know that intuitively, because sometimes when we read these self-help books, it's really only telling you what you know inside.
Exactly.
This is not new. And again, like I said, I go back to the Bible all the time, Ron, because again, this is the foundation of our moral values, of our educational values. And it says here, this is from Matthew 7 and 8. It says here, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh, receiveth, and he that seeketh, findeth. And to him that knocketh, it shall be opened. Ask. A lot of times, and this is funny, Ron, sometimes we don't get what we need because we don't ask for it. You get all the, I'm shy. No. If you really wanted, you would ask for it.
Act like that child who don't care about script. I want it.
I want it. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I was with my mother. We would go uptown and walk around and whatnot. And before we left the house, she gave me instructions. Okay, don't ask for nothing. Don't touch nothing. You know. And I said, okay. And we were walking up, and I say, Mom, can I get a toy? No. 15 minutes later, Mom, can I get a toy? I told you no, right? And I thought that maybe you changed your mind. We were walking. I asked again, Mom, can I get a toy? Boy, and then the fifth time I sort of wore it down. Mom, can I get a toy? All right, okay. Well, look, what do you want? Okay, so we go into the toy store. I said, I'm going for the big thing, you know. She said, boy, come on. Okay, all right, well, maybe can I get a G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip or something, you know, something small, you know. But but again, a lot of times we don't receive because we don't ask, you know, and there's nothing wrong with asking, okay, because we all need something, and sometimes we need something from other people. But I'm the type of person that if I give, if I ask, I'm ready to give in return. And I think, again, we don't outgrow that. I don't care how old you get, man. You know, we still have a need for each other. We still have a need for relationships, you know. And again, I mean, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, I mean, there's still room for romance. It's a little different, I think, you know. It's a little more realistic. You know, it's so funny. I was talking to my sister, and I was talking to her, you know, I said, you know, when you're younger, you know, you have a list for your dream man and your dream woman, right? You know, and the older you get, that list gets a little smaller. I say it gets a little more realistic, okay? Because again, we understand, you know, we look at ourselves and we look at others and whatnot, and we just have to be realistic. I mean, again, yesterday is gone. Like Dina said, yesterday is gone, you know, and tomorrow is not promised, and so all we have really is right now, this moment. And Aretha says here, said, everything we need is on the inside of us. Everyone is in need because we all need Jesus. Okay, so I can't argue with that, because I know that, you know, I woke up this morning not on my own. You know, I woke up because I was given the blessing of another day. And the older you get, the more you appreciate that, because again, I mean, you know, I mean, one day is going to be your last, you know, and you don't know, because, you know, you can go to the doctor and he can give you a diagnosis of a very catastrophic illness. And he can say, well, you have maybe a year to live or whatever. But you know what? He doesn't know. You know, I mean, the best he's doing is a guess, and maybe an educated guess, but you don't know, because I feel that when it's your time to go, you will go, you know. And I'm the type of person, I'm going to make sure that every day I'm doing all that I can to be a better person, because I believe in karma, Ron. I believe what you put out there, you get back. So if I abuse someone, if I take advantage of someone, that's going to come back to me. You know, it might not come back overnight. It may take some time, you know, but I truly believe it's going to come back to you. And that's why I know for myself, I've put some good things out there, and I've gotten some good things back. Laretha says here, you know, okay, I missed what she said, but I'm going to try to go back to it. But the point I'm making is that I think that we're all vibing. You know, we're all in sync. I think everybody has been drawn into the conversation, this food for thought segment. And what say you, Ron, about this whole thing about visualization and really being in the moment?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, please.
My brother Steve is in the moment, and he had a visualization that I can't see what he saw, but he saw a whole lot of stuff.
That's right.
You know,
visions of the mind, right?
I'm telling you. So seriously, you know, and you're right. Visualization, start on the inside. And as the sister said, you know, whether it's those who follow Jesus, right, those who follow Prophet Muhammad, those who follow Moses, but guess what? All three, if not more, and others follow the word of God because they had conversation.
That's right.
So no matter who you identify, always remember the higher power who created the heavens and the earth and all that dwells therein belongs to him, all of us. But he has given us everything. Yeah. If you see it, you believe it. And here, God said to Abraham, as far as your eyes can see, as far as your eyes can see, can you see? You see the horizon, but now get to it and see that it's continue, and continue to be even further, which means that your journey is a long journey. But while you're on that pathway, you have the right and opportunity to skip, jump, bounce, whatever, like kids do. You know, kids, they like to bounce here and there and whatnot. They feel in their glory. How come you don't feel your glory? There's no such thing as you too old and I feel this way and I feel. You only feel that way because that's what you bring home to lock yourself in. I'm not being disrespectful to somebody who has physical condition or that unfortunate, that level of mental condition. But whatever little bit you have, bring that to life. You'd be surprised because as many know, and we try to follow them, my brother here, God has given us the body is designed to heal itself under the right condition.
That's right. That's right.
If you don't think happiness, it ain't gonna be happy because your organs are screaming, "Hey, what about us?"
That's right. And Laretha says here, "If you sow it, you will reap it." And she said,
exactly.
And then Jacqueline Jenkins, she said, "Good evening, my good brothers."
My sister.
Yeah, my
absolutely.
Sister. And it's so funny, but understand this visualization thing works in two ways, okay? Because sometimes you got to be realistic, because sometimes you might see something in your mind that you want, and it may be possible for you. Like, for example, like, you know, if you, let's say, you're window shopping, okay? You're window shopping because you're looking at that suit or that dress and how it will look on you. That's creative visualization, you know? But you got to be realistic. I remember, Brian, when I had a hernia and I had an operation, you know, and I had to, you know, after the operation, I was healing and whatnot, and I had to go to see the doctor, you know, and I said, and in my mind, I said what I would do, I would walk down to the train station, and then I would take a train from Rahway to Elizabeth. And then from the Elizabeth train station, I would walk to my doctor's office. Now, that was what I saw in my mind, but then common sense got the better of me. I mean, look, I just had an operation, a major operation. I can't walk like that. I can't do it. So I had to ask my neighbor to take me to see the doctor, and I saw the doctor. He looked at me, and I was out in 10 minutes. But again, my visualization, I saw it, but it was not realistic. On the other hand, I was in New York one day, and I was just walking around as a business to take care of. I was looking in this store, you know, and I saw a real nice jacket. I said, man, I could see myself in that jacket. And so I finished my business, and I came back to the store, and I walked into the store, and I said, I like that jacket in the window. I said, would you have it in my size? And Ron, he showed me the jacket, and I put the jacket on, and I had a, and it fit. And I to this day, I don't know how much that jacket cost, but I saw me in that jacket. Richard Medley says, "Good evening." Monica Sang, she says, "Good afternoon." At least here in California, 3 hours behind. Okay, so we got people on the East Coast, and we got people on the West Coast. Monica, thank you. Hello, California.
Here's something, and I'd like to take a minute there, because this is important. This is what just came to my mind. Excuse me. Yes. This, I want to read this, and it's, excuse me, I'm sorry. The Soul of a Black Man. But before I read this, I want to say this, and I want to be very serious about this. Too many brothers struggle in between his own battles, trying to please his sister, his woman, whoever she may be, as opposed to the confusion on the other side. It's about comfort. How can I comfort you with the exact same struggle that he did with mentally in society from the battle hands of a master, whether he worked for somebody or was a past history? But believe me, and I'm telling you from this man's point of view, this brother right here, okay, a black man struggles constantly. And so to hear things coming at him on a regular basis, it makes it hard. And too many sisters don't take time to listen to his pain. I don't want you to talk to him. I just want you to listen to his pain. There's a lot of sisters who's starting to realize that. Listen to his pain, because a lot of brothers, it's hard for him to express what he has not had the opportunity to render unto somebody who cares about his pain on the inside. Help him. I ain't talking about taking by the hand and treat him like a child. I'm talking about listen to the brother. So let me read this. And this also back in 1992 by Jeff Avon. The Soul of a Black Man. You keep telling me, step in front of the line, while behind my back you are thinking of ways to kick me in the behind. Wow. You put the toy before the child, yet won't let me play. Yet won't let him play. You came to feed the hungry man, but he died yesterday. I'm standing on the street corner spreading the news. You write down what I say. Yet it gets all confused. Now, how can I laugh when my path is full of tears? The freedom you had, I searched for through the years. Wow. Until you have felt my pain, you will never understand the soul of the winner against all odds. The soul of a black man. Now, I said what I said.
That's powerful. That's
exactly.
Powerful.
I said what I said before I read this, and as I'm reading this, which is the exact same thing that lines up. That's so important.
It is. It is.
And he had written this back in 1992.
Whoa.
You see, so look back in your history. Remember, brothers and sisters, this is what's happening, and this is what's missing today. We are disconnected.
That's right.
We don't have, and I'm gonna be honest with you, we don't have to be lovers, but the fact is we have to be mindful and spiritually connected to one another. My brothers, my sister, we have to be there for each other. There's no such thing as they didn't fight each other back in the day. How can we fight each other today? And as we call ourselves in the hood, what is the hood?
Yeah, that's crazy. And again, Monica Sang, is watching from California. She said, I just got home and I'm taking a break before getting work done. Laretha, she's calling in from Delaware. Okay, so again, we're the community is wide and is vast, and it's a beautiful thing because we're sharing, male to female and female to male and whatnot. Again, we have to do that. And Laretha says here, we should listen to each other's pain to understand the rain that has fallen. Everybody has some pain. Everybody has some grief. Everybody has some baggage that they carry with them. But the thing is not to get bogged down by that grief, not to get bogged down from that pain where you get to the point where you stop dreaming, you stop seeing a better life for yourself and for your family. You get to the point where you're hopeless and you're desperate. This week, in my daily blog, Soul Music Prescriptions, album by album, song by song. I'm talking about the music of Will Downing, and his daughter committed suicide. And she was suffering from a bipolar situation, and she committed suicide. And he actually wrote a song about that. So that was the way that he dealt with his pain and his suffering. And the thing is that, you know, I always say I think we have more the same in us than our differences. You know, we try to, you know, separate male from female, but I think we got to stop doing that to the point where we got to understand each other. We got to be to the point where we understand where each other is coming from, and not to put something on somebody that is not there. You know, I mean, you've been hurt by a man, you've been hurt by a woman. Okay, I mean, let's get beyond that. I hate to see when someone is hurt and they make the next person, you know, pay for that hurt. I mean, that's a new person and a new situation. But the difference, and my brother hit on when he said here, conversation, okay? You have to sit down and talk. Don't assume, okay? Don't assume. Assume, again, when you assume, what do? You make an ass out of you and me, okay? So don't assume. And sometimes we get a little shy, you know what I mean? You know, it's so funny in male and female relationships, you know? I mean, we men, you know, sometimes you got to pin us down, man, because, you know, the relationship is going good. We're doing this and doing that and whatnot. And then, Ron, they come with the dreaded question. The men don't want to hear. You know what that is? Where are we going? I think we're going pretty good. You know what I mean. Where are we going? Where is this relationship going? Okay? I mean, see, the men could go for a long time on a ride, you know. But the women, a lot of times, they want to pin this down, especially when they have serious intentions, you know. Where is this going? You know? You have come to your free trial is over. Now you got to subscribe and hit that button, okay? Commit. But again, it's a beautiful thing, man, when you can have a conversation. I mean, and again, not just a conversation, but a real conversation, where you really sit down with that person and look that person in the eye, and ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. Now you might not always get it, but at least you know that other person knows what you have in your mind, you know? And it's so funny, we go on this program, man, we start with the community and we have fun with ourselves, and now we got about 5 minutes. And as always, I'll let my brother take the last bit of the apple juice. Just a drop left, you know. He gonna take that.
I want to take a couple minutes here.
Yeah, please.
You know, and this is important. What you just expressed. Sharing is
Lord
listening.
Mercy. Yes.
You see, when somebody's sharing something, you listen for understanding.
Please listen.
If a person is complaining about something, you cut them off.
That's right.
If a person is expressing there is concern and pain, you have to take time and think about which is which. Don't just assume and interject, well, and all your opinions and this and that. And well, da-da-da. See, that's where you kill the spirit of someone.
That's right.
The importance of the art of conversation, the important piece of connecting and collaborating and in delving into a good conversation is about listening, the art of listening. Right. And all that way is getting understanding. Proverbs 3 and 5, okay? But you can't have an understanding if you don't listen.
That's right.
And again, too many of society, and I'm going to go across the board, but I'm going to stay in this culture right here.
Yeah.
You have 98% of complaining, just talk about nothing, just rampant rage. That's like putting a noose around your neck and wait and ask you to pull it up so you can choke yourself into death. The point is, when there's complaint, you cut it off. Right. Whole brother, whole sister, where we going with this? That's because it serves no purpose. Right. Other than that, when somebody's expressing something, listen for understanding because they have a concern and there's pain there. That's what's important.
Yeah.
That's why our kids in itself, in short,
Mm-hmm.
when they don't say anything, or adults who become quiet, because there's something inside they don't know how to express, but there's pain there. But you have to be the one to be the comforter of that moment.
Yeah. You have to do that. And Aretha Foster Bram, she says, sometimes pain and hurt is sent so we can learn how to love right. And before we get out of here, I want to say happy birthday to Jacqueline Jenkins, you know.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Now everybody's jealous and whatnot. But again, you're our community. If you have a birthday, let us know, and we'll sing to you. And again, it's the Stevie Wonder version that we sing. There's another version, but that's not us, you know. The Stevie Wonder version is us. And so again, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on Sunday. Until then, take care of yourself.